Yo, what's happening, Beer Fam? DDBeer89 here, back again with some more Dragon Ball Legends news, hint, tips and information. And today we are going to talk about the Feedback Update 2021. Now, today being the 3rd of November, this is the third installment of it. They are going over a 4-week period of dropping new things for the updates, just so we don't have to be overwhelmed with too much like they normally do. So I didn't really speak about week 1 and week 2 in previous videos because, to be honest, they were big things, but there were things that you could see that were going to happen in the long run. Now, week 3 has a lot to do with the exchange shops, which they haven't really touched on in a while. They keep on adding new things to be exchanged and not sorting out the old things that they had. For example, the exchange medals and etc. like that. But now they've done that, and we'll talk about that in a second. So we'll talk about the first 2 weeks that happened. So the first week we had updates for the free Zenkai Awakening, the adjustments of the Ultra characters, and of course the revamp for the Legends Weekend. Now, the Legends Weekend has always been a good thing personally, giving out free tickets and cheap sparking summons, but now they've pretty much buffed up even more by giving Chronos, which is a plus, and of course giving us that free Super Master Pack free ticket. Of course, you have to complete all 3 days in the exchange shop. And then we have week 2, which gave us that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta equipment, the platinum one, which pretty much sort of balances him out, which is good. And of course, making training more efficient and adjusting the Legends road events as well, making them pretty much a little bit more easier to cope with and complete. Now, going on to week 3. Week 3, like I said, is mainly to do with the exchange shop, and we have here one thing that hasn't been touched on for a hot minute, and that is the Z medals. So the Z medals are medals that you get for having a surplus of Z powers for a certain unit, so over the 7-star or red 7-star ability. Now, what they've done here is they have increased the amount of Zenkai souls you can get from 1 to 10, but they've also decreased the amount of, I believe it's the amount of Z powers or Z medals that you need to use to get them. And of course, they have decreased the amount of coins or Z powers, Z medals or Z exchange medals you have to use for the Zenkai 7. It used to be 80 coins, now it's 50, so they've dropped off about 30, which you can overall use in the long run. And also they have increased the amount of course, slot removers you can use as well in there, which is great. So it's reducing the amount of medals we are needed for that one, which is great. But those things that really need to be touched on as well. I believe in there you can also get extreme units from there. They need to start revamping that one up a bit more, but it's a good start for what they are looking to do. Then of course we have the medal equipment, or the equipment medals, which I never really used, but now I'm going to use it because it is a big thing. And the one big thing they added to this was of course the expand equipment. Now, you can only do this 10 times. It's going to cost you 500, so it's going to be 5,000 of these medals. I have a big surplus of them, so that is the first thing I'm going to go on, because equipment expansions is expensive in any exchange and it's ridiculous to get them, and you're always going to have a surplus of equipments. Also, they have added memories of certain awakening equipments which you could not get currently anywhere else, such as Fool's Memory 1, I left Chaozu at Roshi's, and the fruit of the Tree of Might, which is always a surplus, which is good. You got the platinums and you got the golds and etc. from there. So we've got the memories from them. I don't really know many people who use them, but they're there for you. Main thing for this update here would be the expansion of the equipment limit, but it's only 10. Use them wisely, people. Then we have, of course, the adjustment of the rare medals. Once again, more expansion slots. Now, this one has a 20 and a 20, but it's at 3,000 and 4,000 rare exchange medals respectively. So make sure you use those wisely, because those exchange medals, or the rare exchange medals, are quite versatile in the game at the moment. You can use them pretty much everywhere, so make sure you know when to use them and which to use them. But here we have at least 40 of the expansions, and then you've got 50 with the extra 110 from there, so it's looking good. And then the one that really needs to be touched on was the recycle center. Now, this is the one I agree with some stuff, but I disagree with others. we have, of course, the training items. Now, we should have been able to update the training items, recycle surpluses of lower training items for higher ones, which would have been great. It should have been something, well, they should have added the golden bells to there realistically. So like silver bell, maybe 10 silver bells you exchange for 1 golden bell, or maybe even 20, or loads of the weighted training clothings for a gold bell. Go for the highest one possible. Doesn't matter if it's ridiculous prices, because I have a surplus of loads of training items because we have training events and yeah, sort of events in there which help us train anyway. So yeah, some of them were really good, but some of them are useless here. Now, the one that I thought was really cool was the Rising Souls and the Super Souls for, of course, the Legends Limited units, the ones that you get a surplus of after a certain amount of time. You'll manage to collect loads of them and not have anything to do with them because they're not going to increase them at this point in time. Now, of course, that's the one thing I agree with. Now, I do not agree that they are making us transfer them to Zenny. They should transfer them to Skip or energy tickets, because they are the things that we use to get those items. Zenny you can get anywhere, which really does sort of grind my gears a bit, quoting Peter Griffin there. But they should have done the Super Souls and the Rising Souls for, of course, energy and Skip tickets respectively. They could have even had stupid prices for them, but they decided to do it like this. So if you're low on Zenny, which I doubt many people are unless you're brand new to the game, there is a way to do that. But it's overall, they are thinking in the right direction with the, of course, exchange shops here. But some of the equipment is very questionable on the exchange, is what they're going to be doing. So guys, in the next 7 days, so the 10th of November, we should, of course, get the next and final part of the feedback. So keep a lookout for that, guys, and let me know what you think about this in the comments below. But like always, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment for more in the future. And until next time, peace.